ICE is doing a lot of raids in California. One of the things that a lot of us need to understand is just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're going to get deported. Mass arrest did not mean deportation. Your arrest, if you're undocumented, doesn't mean you're going to be deported. You have rights, and you also need to know who is going to be deported. First of all, the people that have a higher chance of deportation are those who came into the United States and have been here for less than 2 years, those who came into the United States through the TPS program under the Biden administration, those who came into the United States with a visa and the visa has expired, those who came into the United States and have a deportation notice, those who came into the United States and were caught crossing the border and were sent back and came back again. Anybody with a criminal history and crossing the border is not a crime, it's an offense. Therefore, what is a criminal history? Anybody who does human trafficking, sex trafficking, has gang affiliation, drug trafficking, sexual assault, domestic violence, DUIs, battery assault, and so on. Side note, if you are arrested by local law enforcement for something that you did and you go to jail, when you get your bail bonds to help you to get out, you're gonna have to wait for your bail bonds to apply for your bail after ICE closes their office. If you apply for your bail while ICE is still open, ICE can be waiting for you outside of jail. If you wait for ICE office to close and then you file your paperwork, they're not going to get the notice that you're in jail. Now, here's what you need to do and what you need to know. You have the right to remain silent if you're detained by ICE. And when you get arrested or detained, the first thing you do is freak out. Of course, that's natural. But keep your mouth shut. Don't talk back to the federal agents. Do not talk back to ICE. Don't even curse them out. Because again, just because you're being arrested or detained doesn't mean you're going to be deported. And if you're talking back, talking poop, or trying to fight, you're not helping yourself. You have the right to an immigration hearing by an immigration judge. Again, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're going to be deported. I stated who has a higher chance of being deported. When you are in front of the immigration judge, that is your time to shine and that is the time you speak up. Do not curse them out. You need to win the judge over and tell the judge and show the judge why you belong in the United States. So please think it through. Think about what you have to say and let the judge know how you cannot go back to whatever country you came from, especially if you were brought here as a child. If you were brought here as a child, you clearly came here without your consent. You were brought here. That is actually just an offense, not a crime. You fall under this category if you've been here for more than 10 years and were brought here under the age of 16. You need to let the judge know this because you have a lesser chance of being deported. You actually have more rights than other undocumented immigrants. Let's continue. You have the right to speak to an immigration lawyer. And even if you're not detained and you're out and you're living your life right now, I always suggest you speak to an immigration lawyer. Even if you think you cannot afford it or you think you're going to be denied, speak to an immigration lawyer. If you're detained, you have the right to speak to an immigration lawyer. Majority of the times when you're detained and you're able to speak to an immigration lawyer, the immigration lawyer can start your paperwork process, and then you have about 2 years to get all your paperwork together before you can actually be deported. That doesn't mean you're saved and you won't be deported, but that does mean you have a higher chance of not being deported. This is where you take the opportunity to prove why you belong in the United States. And most importantly, do not sign anything without an immigration lawyer or immigration legal advice. You might be signing your own deportation. Even if you speak English or even if the documents are in your language, do not sign without a lawyer present because you do not know or understand what you're signing and you might be signing your own deportation. These riots happening in Los Angeles might feel like justice, but they're actually hurting our undocumented people. We are giving other communities a reason to continue to dislike our undocumented people. Not everybody who is undocumented is here committing a crime, but all are being put under that category because of stuff like the riots happening in Los Angeles. Burning a flag to a country where we don't want to be deported from is not and will not help our case. Screaming Viva Mexico in the United States when you want to stay in the United States is not going to help our case. I am a proud Mexican with dual citizenship, but you will not catch me here in the United States screaming Viva Mexico, nor will you catch me in Mexico screaming Viva Estados Unidos. And a lot of the stuff that you guys are doing here in Los Angeles, all the rioting and whatnot, you were to try that in Mexico, you're getting your ass beat. Please protect yourself, protect those you love, speak up, and get educated. Stop spreading fear, stop spreading lies, stop the violence, and know your rights.